Greetings, fellow Demon Slayers. This is Timon and Mari here today with the daily video. Before getting started, you know the drill. The link to the Discord server will be in the description. Anyone interested in joining, come hang out, talk about the game. You can get help, you can give help if you've been playing a while, what have you. I think we're about at 270 people now, if I'm remembering right, so that's super awesome for 3 weeks. I really appreciate all the support. And with that, we're going to get into the weekly tradition of looking over the update. So with this update, everybody knows it. We have Emily here. As far as this bundle, I will always say the bundle is worth it because it saves you 1,000 gems for a $45 price tag if you're able to afford it. I do wish I could get her right now, but money is not willing, so I'm sad. But either way, you would get her Gosha Academy outfit. You would get her the bundle ultra rare that they all come with. This weapon would be terrible. And then you would get 200 gems. So overall, I'll always say the bundles are worth it for any character if they continue being like this. Next, we'll go ahead and head to the gacha screen. So we have the Emily gacha here. For 100 pulls, you'll be able to choose, just like always. So we'll just take a look at her two weapons. We have the Temari Uta. This is basically the same as every other rebellious weapon in that family. Each critical hit would increase the damage dealt to the target, which basically it would lower the target's defense by 4% for 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. And the active, just like every other weapon in the family, would increase her critical rate by 18% for 12 seconds, these effects being at S level 1. So nothing really new to see there. Her little robot mag is adorable though for this one. It looks like a little demon boy, so I like that design. Next we'll look at the Agnus Dei. And the ability Deus Ex Machina for this weapon actually seems really powerful. For the passive, your speed would be increased by 10% while your particles are fully charged. That ability I don't really think is great, but the active, dealing 840% damage and knocking down enemies in the area, is amazing for 5 particles. So the only reason the passive is bad is because me personally, if I did have Emily and I had this weapon, I would just be spamming the active all day. So definitely a good weapon to look out for her, like especially for PvE. For PvP, I'm sure her Viridian weapon will probably take the cake, but I don't think this will do you bad in the meantime since it does knock down. If she can score a knockdown in PvP, she'll probably be able to just plank them with her infamous auto attack. So we'll take a look at the super rares as well. We have the Magi MK2. Basically increases critical rate by 14%. That would be 28% if it works like the other crit rate weapons. So this is good for a critical build from range. You could pair her with Faust and Hamura. And whatever you would do for the main would depend on her abilities, which I don't have access to at this time. And then we have the Providence Eye, which basically will work like the Renko and She Who Shall Not Be Named weapons. At S level 5, this would be 80% to demon, so it would essentially make her a demon killer. So the super rares aren't bad. Like, I love the critical hit rate super rares, and I love the demon damage super rares, so it's cool that they gave her the same type of weapons. And if you are interested in getting these at an up rate, her banner will be here until December 14th. And next we look at the mileage skin that I said wasn't unique, but God, looking at it, it's so damn cute, and I'm really sad I'm going to miss it, but whatever. You know, real life, it's a gacha game, you can't have everything, but her bunny skin is adorable, so I can certainly see it baiting people to buy it. Like, it's just super cute. So it's up to you guys if you want to go for it. That would be 150 pulls, or it would equal out to 5,800 gems to get the bunny skin. Next we look at the other gacha here. I believe this is for Fuyumi. Okay, so Kind of annoying, we just had Suzune and then another really good supporters put up because they're rushing things, but this supporter was also like one of the ones that was suggested to look out for when I reviewed what people thought was good in Japan at launch. So her passive ability would reduce damage taken from melee attacks by 12% and increase damage dealt with melee by 7% at S level 1. This is really good on someone like Sakura and Renko who loves blue. It would just give them the ability to stack damage. It's especially terrifying as like a sub-supporter if you run someone like Homura in PvP. Homura as the main would give 60% damage to humans, so it won't really bother Emily, but it will bother everyone else we have. And then on top of that, the character would be getting an additional melee damage from Fuyumi if you have her as a sub, with Haruka as a main. If you can get this to S level 5, like, God, I don't know or have access to what it would look like, but I'm sure it would be a nice chunk of damage. And the damage reduction from melee is also nice. And the fact that it is a blue or protect supporter, it would synergize well with Renko's Meteors and Sakura's Spin build in PvP. And PvE for that matter, since they're both melee and it's just giving damage and damage reduction. The ability is alright, it would deal 575% damage, knocking up all enemies within close range. And then it says the explosion has a short delay. I'm assuming that maybe is for the knock-up. Like, I think maybe the 575 damage will pop off, and then the knock-up might come up a couple seconds later. I don't know. I don't have her. I don't have a means to pull her right now to test it, unfortunately. But hopefully, sometime down the line, I can get her or someone can clarify exactly how the ability works. But either way, she is a really good supporter and worth going for, just like Suzune. So if you have the resources to pull her, definitely go for it. And next we'll look at the super rare Tsushima Ibuki. So she's really good on ranged characters. Her passive would increase critical damage of ranged attacks by 16%. So she would pair up nicely with someone like Faust, though if you're running a suppressed build, I would prefer Homura just for the 30% damage personally. But I can also see her having a home there to buff your critical rates with Faust if you don't have a Homura lying around. The 16% critical damage is great as long as you can force crits out. Her ability is a little bit on the meh side. It deals 375 damage and knocks down one enemy. I don't know if the 375% damage is an AoE, but since it doesn't say, I'm assuming it's just to one enemy and knocks down one enemy with the way it's worded. So that doesn't seem great. Like, I could see it having a home in PvP, but in PvP people run Viridian weapons. So while the crit damage is good, your crit rate would be being reduced by anyone using those weapons, making it harder for her passive to show its face. But in a PvE setting paired with Faust for people who may not have Homura, I could see her finding a home or some temporary use, at least as a filler slot, until someone could get their hands on Homura. Since Homura is 30% damage at all times at S level 5, she would just surpass Ibuki. Alright, now those are the new gachas. So the pickup gacha here will be here until the 7th. And Emily will be hanging around until December 14th. So ample time to try and go for her bunny skin, or at least go for the 100 pulls to get your hands on the Agnes Day. So moving on from here, before going into the event, I do want to give the news about the Ultra Rare. So when you do the tutorial in Action Timon and they give you like one free pull, I believe that pull happens on the premium gacha here. So when the game launched, you weren't guaranteed an Ultra Rare. They actually patched it in last night that now a new player doing the tutorial, when they do that pull, they will get an Ultra Rare for free. It can either be a supporter or a weapon. So it makes re-rolling even easier because you can, since you're guaranteed an Ultra Rare, you could fish for one you definitely want by just resetting and then get going on your account. But it also kind of makes re-rolling pointless because you get an Ultra Rare. So unless you really want a specific one, then there's no reason to re-roll since you're going to get something. So overall, it's a good update. They were kind enough to give existing players that played before the update happened a free ultra rare ticket that gave a weapon or a supporter. So hopefully people got what they wanted. I got garbage as per usual. What did I get? I got a dupe of this piece of junk. So I'm not super happy with it, but I guess it's something. I would have rather anything else dropped, honestly, though. This Hunter's Vestige weapon for Usagi is just the worst thing ever. Like, I would have rather a dupe for the Sakura one I've had for months. Either way, that's neither here nor there. Everyone will get an ultra rare ticket if they play before the 24th, or basically before this maintenance happened. So, if you're not new to the game, you did get one. And anyone new to the game starting from now on will get an ultra rare from the tutorial. In that one free pull they give you. So kudos to them for making that change. The last thing I want to look at is Shinohara Mari's training mission. I haven't started the event yet. I was pretty sick last night, so I kind of just stayed away from doing it for the time being. I'll probably get started on it today. But it's the usual rules I give you guys for the events. There's going to be 10 boxes. Mari's going to be in every odd number box. So box 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. You're going to basically play the event for these gacha tickets that are here. And then you're going to pull in the box until you get your hands on a Mari. And then when you get her, or you get the rare ticket in the even numbered boxes, you're going to simply click this circle to reset the box. If you're not whaling and you don't want to get everything from every box, you would reset and it'll move you on to the next one. So that's the fastest way to get to the event. For anyone new or not used to events, do expect like boxes 7 and 9 generally are the hardest to get the item from. Sometimes it goes a bit different, but usually a lot of people report box 9 taking until the last pull, so don't get salty if that happens. It's pretty common for everyone. But either way, there's not much else to explain about this. I've covered it multiple times. It's just so you guys know how it works for anyone who doesn't. But you're basically going to go for the rare item in the box, which would be Mari, or the rare ticket, and then reset the box to move on and get the event done as soon as possible, so you can kind of get out of event timeout and go back to farming your dailies. We will take a look at what Mari does. So she does reduce damage taken from all enemies by 18% while you are debuffed or stunned at S level 1. And then her active ability, Earthen Protection, deals 284% damage, and knocks up to 3 random enemies. Knocks up to 3 random enemies. Wow. Saying up twice like that is weird. But basically, you'll pop up 3 random guys, and then you're going to gain super armor for 8 seconds. I don't remember the damage reduction on the S level 5, but someone did link her at S level 5 in the Discord server. I think the super armor would last for 16 seconds at S level 5, but maybe I'm remembering wrong. Either way, she's farmable, so definitely no reason why you shouldn't finish her. Definitely focus her. She's probably going to be very useful in PvP, if not immediately down the line, just for things like the super armor. So I don't think she's a bad supporter to go for. She's certainly better than Katajina in my eyes. And at least her ability hits more than one enemy. Like, yeah, it's 3 random guys, but you're usually not super swarmed out in this game anyway, so 3 enemies could be really decisive, and being able to knock them up is good and deal damage. And then super armor would stop things from like those scythe zombies knocking you around. Unless they break super armor, but I doubt that they would. Either way, she's definitely a good supporter to go for. And I do suggest using your AP to get your hands on her, and maybe using AP potions as well. So that's pretty much the contents of the event. As far as Emily, yes, she is worth it. If you can get her bundle, definitely go for it. She's going to take care of you in PvP as well as PvE. She's a really good character. Her Agnus Dei weapon is amazing, and anyone who gets that, like, congratulations, you lucky dog, because this active is so good. And the bunny skin, God, I'm kicking myself in the mouth for saying it's not unique. I mean, it isn't unique, but it's so damn cute. I can't get over how adorable it looks. Like, she just looks super soft. I just want to pat her head and tell her everything's gonna be alright. So anyway, that's Emily. Definitely worth going for if you can afford the bundle. And Fuyumi here is definitely worth pulling for if you can do that. Or if you can even manage to do, like, the 200 gems just to try to get her. I would suggest it because she's really good. And then the daily pops. Well, thank you for the gold. Alright, so with that being said, that is everything I wanted to cover today in regards to the update. I'm going to address one thing. Someone was asking for a tier list. I'm never going to do a tier list for this game. The reason being is tier lists breed toxic attitudes. Like, the tier list itself wouldn't be toxic, but giving characters a letter grade and rating them leads to elitists in the community saying things like, oh, your character sucks, and I just don't want to lead to arguments like that. I don't think anyone is bad in this game. I've been pretty vocal about my opinions of every character. I think, like, out of every character, the only weird thing would be Shiranui in PvP. She doesn't seem super strong, but even then, people have been finding success with her. While, you know, I have not, other people do. And that's the case for many other characters. Like, some people say Yukikaze is broken in PvP and Renko is broken, but then I've seen Asagi's wipe the floor with me, and I've seen people using Asagi wipe the floor. Like, it's way too situational, I guess the word is. Like, I guess is the word I'm looking for. The game is way too situational as far as, like, AI, and as far as character build variety, for any one character to truly dominate. Like, there are some cancerous builds out there, but there's always a counter to everything. So I don't think that any one character is really the end-all be-all or top tier. Like, we don't have a case of, like, Street Fighter 4 Sagat going on here, or V13 from BlazBlue. Calamity Trigger, I believe, was the first game, where V13 was literally like, she won 9 out of every 10 matchups. It was insane. This game is not like that. Like, your Renko can lose, your Asagi can lose, your Yuki can lose. The only thing is Shiranui, to me, is a bit meh, but people have a good time with her in PvP. Everyone is viable in PvE. Everyone is able to do hard mode. Even with how terrible the Kochara event was for Sakura, I was still able to get the gems on hard 5 against the Scythe zombies with her. At the time, Sakura was my only character above 60 and she did it just fine. It was just really difficult. So I will never make a tier list, I'm saying that now. If you want to talk about the pros and cons of characters, I'll do that with you. But please do not come at me like, rate the characters, because that's not something I will do, because it isn't fair to the characters, it isn't fair to the players, and I want to avoid toxic attitudes like, oh, your character's not S rank, they suck. So, yeah, that's not something I will ever do. If you want to ask anyone else their opinions, if they feel like the game has a tier, they'll probably give it to you, but don't ask me because you will not get an answer. I will tell you everyone's viable, and I will stick to that answer until the cows come home. So with that, again, the Discord link will be in the description. Anyone interested in joining, you know where to go. I wish you guys a good rest of your day. I wish everyone good luck in the arenas, good luck in their gachas, and good luck pulling from Mari's boxes. I hope she blesses you and you get in and out of the event really fast. And with that, you guys go ahead and take care.